let's talk about burnout and burnout in photography and what to do when, or not what to do, but what I do when you've just lost your mojo. And this comes off the back of a comment I saw in the Facebook group. And I think it's something we don't talk about because who wants to look vulnerable? So let's do that. Let's look a bit vulnerable and let's talk about burnout, because I am the master of burnout. I am Mr. Burnout. Like, no one has burnt out as hard, as often as I have. You will regularly find me fast asleep on the sofa, face down, with my phone ringing, with my girlfriend being like, "Where the hell are you?" I'm like, "I've crashed. It's happened again. I'm gone." And I limp home and then just like mope around for a bit. The photography industry is brutal. I personally am constantly under pressure to produce. And this comes from many angles. Whether it's a client needing work done, which I can cope with fine. That one doesn't burn me out as much. The personal work. Like, you look at my website, scottshifthinio.com, that is 75% personal work. Every single month I have to have a new personal project, which is brilliant, uploaded. Every month. No matter what's going on, I've got to have at least one. Hopefully 4, but 1. That is exhausting. YouTube, this. I've got, let me show you. Hang on. These are my ideas for YouTube videos. There are many. They're all there. Look at that. That's all the ones I'm going to be making. I have to have a constant list ready for when I have time to film. Like, today is filming day. We've got to do 20 videos. I just got to get them done. And that is exhausting. Like, not the doing it, the thought of doing it. And I get burnout. I just got back off a holiday. I had a week off after a really horrendous job I did. Like, when I say horrendous, it was the worst day of my life. The entire shoot felt like a nightmare. It was like one of those things where you, like, everything goes wrong and then you go, "Oh no, I'm also naked." Like, it was that job. It was so bad, I nearly cried. And I don't cry very often. But I do cry, but not like, I'm not a crier, as it were. But this one nearly made me cry. It was that bad. I questioned my life choices. I got back from the holiday and I was like, cool, I've had a week off. Feeling refreshed, let's go and create something. I sat at the desk behind me, back yonder, and I did nothing for 8 hours. I opened up tabs, I looked at stuff, I scrolled, and then I went home. And I was like, I've achieved nothing today. Shit, I've got to get this work done. Came back in the next day, emailed a load of stylists, they all got back to me, and I was like, I've got nothing. I've got no ideas. I'm drawing a blank. I've got my book of ideas, there's loads in there, but none of them are screaming out to me. So here's what I do. I pack my cameras away, put them well away, and I do nothing to do with photography. I work on my business for a week. I work on the business. Instead of being in the business, working in the business, I work on it. I set up some new systems. I tidied up. I hired a new member of staff, which is well overdue. I hired a new cleaner. You know, I sorted out some stuff. I made sure my coffee subscriptions were all up to date. I listened to an audiobook. I made sure, and today's Saturday, this is my first day back working properly in like any sort of recording medium. I made sure I didn't touch that camera. Nothing happened. Monday to Friday, didn't take a picture. Now, when I come in Monday, or in 2 days' time, I'm going to start planning test shoots. Because at this stage, I want to do work, but I'm hanging off a bit longer. From the moment I want to pick up my camera again, I give myself another, maybe sometimes a week, but I give myself even more time. So by the time I get to do it, I'm raring to go. And this is important. You've got to give yourself that break. You've got to allow yourself to like yearn for photography, to like really want it, to want to do it, and to not be able to. And that's how I get myself back in that game. I just go, right, do you know what? Put it all away. I didn't even go into the studio. I was in the office only. I got all my kit out of here, sat in the office and just did admin work like I was working a 9-to-5 job. That's all I did for the week. And now I'm ready to shoot. Ideas are starting to come up into my head again. Ideas that are in my book. And I know it sounds ridiculous. The idea's there. Why can't I do it? It's like I just don't have the motivation. But now they're motivating me. Now I'm seeing them come to life. Now I'm ready to create. The other time I get burnout is after a big spell of shooting. And this results in illness. And this results in me not being able to do anything. So I suffer with tonsillitis or throat infections in general after stressful times. So say I've got 10 days of extreme stress for a job. I'll be fine throughout. I will wake up on day 11 with a sore throat. and a fever, and my body aches all over. It's like coldy, flu-y symptoms. Happens every time. I know it's going to happen. Now, if I've got a 10-day shoot and a 5-day shoot and a day in between it, I book a test shoot in that day in between and I work like a dog, because if I stop, I crash and burn. I don't know why. I'm sure someone can tell me why. It's probably glaringly obvious to everyone else out there, but I cannot stop. Otherwise, I crash and burn. I have to plan my crash and burn. I can't have that day off in between 2 big jobs. I have to stack it full of things. So I'm busy, I'm stressed, and I just keep it up there until I can actually go, right, I've now got 4 days to crash. Let's crash. And that is part of being a professional photographer, especially at a more high-end level. The jobs are fewer, but they're bigger. So a 1-day shoot might be 5 days of work in terms of getting it ready, pre-production, post-production, shoot day, and all the rest of it. So it is a very high stress. Everything's going wrong. Like the ovens haven't turned up to the studio where you've hired them for. They said they've got 3-phase power, but the outlet's on the other side of the building. It's like all this stuff, which is like stressful and has nothing to do with photography, just ruins me. So I do make sure that I plan crash time. And I live like a very like up and down sort of life, as it were. So we're like either go, or 12 hours sleep a day and naps in the middle of the day. They are my 2 states of being. There's nothing in between. And for years, I tried to manage it in a way that it was always just like ticking over. It doesn't work for me. If I'm on and I'm working, I do not hear anything else outside of that. I am tunnel vision, doing the job. That is all that matters in my life. Nothing else matters. Don't pick up my phone. Don't respond to messages. Like, you'll struggle to get hold of me if I'm on a big job, or even approaching a big job. And once it's finished, bang, I'm out, I'm done, I've crashed and burned, and we build up again. And that's how I work. I don't believe it's healthy. I wouldn't recommend it as a lifestyle, but I've not found a better way for me personally. Anyway, let me know in the comments below how you deal with burnout. When you feel like, I'm not even sure burnout's always the right word. Sometimes just a lack of inspiration, or just, you've done too much of it. You just want a bit of a break, and that's fine. You don't have to be Mr. Photographer every day of the week, or Mrs. Photographer, for those watching. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. I hope it's been of use to somebody. I hope it's helped somebody out of that rut. And if you have a better idea of what I should be doing, please let me know, because my word, not sure everyone else around me enjoys my crash and burn lifestyle. But there we go. Anyway, see you all soon. Have a wonderful day. I hope you're feeling great. Bye-bye.